When we talk about success, people often imagine talent, opportunity, or even luck. But let me tell you something with absolute certainty. None of those mean anything without one thing: self-discipline. It is the difference between potential and achievement, between wishing for a better life and actually creating one. I want you to stay with me for the next few minutes, because what we are going to talk about has the power to change not just the way you think, but the way you think, but the way you live. Discipline is not about restriction. It's about freedom. Freedom to live life on your own terms. Freedom to control your future instead of being controlled by your impulses. Freedom to rise above excuses, above comfort, and above the limits you once believed were unbreakable. The truth is, every single one of us is capable of extraordinary things. But most people never reach that level because they lack the discipline to keep going when it's hard, to choose growth when comfort whispers in their ear, and to sacrifice in the moment for something far greater later. And that's exactly why this message matters. Because if you are here today, it means you're not satisfied with staying the same. You want more, you expect more, and deep down, you know you are made for more. So listen closely. This isn't just a speech. It's a challenge, an invitation, and a reminder that self-discipline is the key that unlocks every dream, every success, and every breakthrough you've been waiting for. Every single day, we are given choices that may seem small, but they are the very choices that shape the direction of our lives. It is not the big, dramatic decisions that build our character. It's the little things we do when no one is watching. Waking up when the alarm goes off instead of pressing snooze. Following through on the promise you made to yourself to exercise, to study, to put in the work. Choosing focus instead of distraction, purpose instead of comfort. These choices are not glamorous, and often they don't give you instant results, but they are the foundation of every great achievement you've ever admired. Discipline in daily choices is like planting seeds. You don't see the growth right away, but over time, those consistent decisions begin to shape you into someone stronger, more reliable, and more prepared for the opportunities ahead. Too often, people wait for motivation to strike before they take action. But motivation comes and goes. Discipline, on the other hand, is steady, keeps you moving forward even on the days when you don't feel like it. That's where the real difference is made. Think about it this way. Success is not one big moment. It's the accumulation of hundreds, even thousands of small, intentional actions that compound into extraordinary results. When you take ownership of your daily choices, you take ownership of your future. You stop leaving your destiny to chance, and you begin shaping it with every decision you make. And when you realize the power you have in those choices, you unlock the first step toward the life you've always envisioned. This is where discipline begins. Right here, right now, in the choices you make today. Discipline requires us to embrace something many people try to avoid: sacrifice. It means understanding that every time we choose comfort in the moment, we often trade away the rewards of tomorrow. The truth is, greatness is never built on shortcuts. It is built on the willingness to work when it's inconvenient, to stay committed when others give up, and to delay gratification because you believe in something greater than what's right in front of you. There will always be temptations, time wasted on distractions, opportunities to settle for a good enough, moments where it feels easier to quit than to push through. But when you develop the strength to say no to what feels easy today, you are saying yes to the life you truly want tomorrow. Sacrifice is not about losing. It's about investing. It's about giving up something small now to gain something extraordinary later. Every successful person you admire has walked this path. They stayed up late studying when their friends were out. They worked through weekends when others were relaxing. They trained their minds and bodies to endure discomfort because they knew the reward would be worth it. And here's the reality. Discipline doesn't take away from your life. It adds to it. It gives you opportunities you wouldn't have otherwise. It builds a future you can be proud of, and it strengthens your belief in what you're capable of achieving. When you learn to sacrifice the short term for the long term, you stop living in reaction to your circumstances and start creating them. That is the essence of self-discipline, and that is where true success begins. Discipline is more than a routine. It is an inner strength that shapes who you are when life tests you the most. It's easy to stay committed when things are going well, but true discipline reveals itself in the moments of challenge, when distractions surround you, when failure knocks on your door, and when quitting seems like the easier option. In those moments, discipline becomes the voice that reminds you of your purpose, the anchor that holds you steady, and the force that pushes you forward even when everything else tells you to stop. If life will not always go according to plan. There will be setbacks, obstacles, and times when your best efforts don't immediately pay off. But discipline teaches you resilience. It trains your mind to see failure not as the end, but as feedback. It helps you understand that every struggle carries within it a lesson, and every challenge builds a strength you will need for the next stage of your journey. Discipline transforms hardship into growth, and pain into fuel. The greatest leaders, athletes, and innovators all share this one truth. Their strength did not come from avoiding challenges, but from meeting them with discipline and perseverance. They didn't crumble when life got hard, they rose higher. That same strength is available to each of us when we choose discipline over doubt, commitment over comfort, and growth over excuses. When you master discipline, you master yourself. And when you master yourself, there is nothing in this world that can hold you back. Motivation is powerful, but it is also temporary. It comes in waves, sometimes it's strong, and other times it disappears without warning. If you rely only on motivation, you'll find yourself starting and stopping, moving forward and then falling back, never gaining the momentum you truly need. Discipline, however, is what bridges that gap. It is the force that keeps you steady when the excitement fades, when the challenge feels heavy, and when the results aren't yet visible. Consistency is what separates the dreamers from the achievers, and the achievers. You don't need to feel inspired every single day to make progress. You simply need to commit to showing up. Think about the gym, for example. The results don't come from one great workout. They come from the discipline to return again and again, even on the days when you'd rather stay home. The same is true for studying, for building a business, for chasing any worthwhile goal. Success doesn't ask if you feel ready. It demands that you show up regardless. Over time, consistency builds trust in yourself. You begin to see that you are capable of more than you thought, and that belief fuels even greater action. What once felt difficult becomes a habit, and what once felt impossible becomes a standard. That is the quiet power of discipline. It transforms effort into progress and progress into achievement, one step at a time. So when motivation fades, and it will, let discipline be the anchor that keeps you moving forward.